Memorial Day has a very deep and meaningful history here in America, and especially military families. And for many Americans, it's also the unofficial kickoff of the backyard barbecue season. And that means family picnics. So for the last week, I've been trying to think of what would be the absolute quintessential summer dessert out of thousands of different desserts worldwide. What would, if I could only choose one, which dessert would it be? And it turns out that the French definitely nailed it on this one. And I'm talking about the Tarte aux Fraises. This is a truly exquisite dessert, and I'm going to show you how to make it. All it really is just a sweet tart dough. I'm going to use a food processor here. I think it kind of makes just a small batch of dough easier than using the mixer. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put the room temperature butter into the food processor here, and the granulated sugar. And we're just going to process that real quick. A little more than a pinch maybe of sea salt. And I'm just going to add that right in there. Take off your feed tube if you have one of those. Just put the egg right down the tube while that's processing. You'll probably have to scrape it down a couple times, but basically that's all there is to it. Okay, so while your tart dough is chilling in the refrigerator, now it's time to make the creme patissier, or as we say it here in Hershey, Pennsylvania, pastry cream. So first thing we're going to do is start heating up. I have 1 pint of organic half and half. You can use milk, you can use heavy cream, but I find that half and half is the perfect in between, hence the name half and half. But just get that heating up. 4 ounces of granulated sugar, organic, and I've got 1 ounce of non-GMO cornstarch. Definitely important to sift that together. And I'm also going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon or so. Better measure that. 1/4 teaspoon salt, sea salt, fine sea salt, and just measure that and sift that all together. So then as soon as you get all that sifted together, you're going to want to break up a couple of eggs here. Add that in there. Whisk that together real well. So while your half and half is coming up to the scald, you can either scrape in a vanilla bean, or I'm using this organic vanilla bean paste. I put a lot of vanilla bean in my pastry cream because why not? I think it's definitely the place where it really belongs. So as soon as your half and half comes up to the boil like that, you can just temper your egg mixture. Just use about 1/3 of that hot milk there. As soon as you get your egg and sugar mixture tempered and combined, just put it straight back into the pot. Whisk continuously. So as soon as you see bubbles breaking the surface, make sure that you continue to cook your pastry cream for at least about another minute or so to cook out the raw cornstarch taste. So as soon as your pastry cream is finished, take it off the heat immediately and strain it. And this is a very important step, so don't skip it, just in case you cooked it a little too aggressively and there could be some bits of cooked egg that you wouldn't want in your finished cream. Plus it'll make it nice and smooth as well. And spread it out into an even layer. And then the next thing you want to do is just dot the top with 2 ounces of unsalted butter. And then work that butter into the pastry cream. You can put a plastic wrap here on top of it to keep it from forming a skin on top. Just chill this down until it's completely cold, at least an hour or so. Okay, so this tart shell took about a half an hour total with the egg wash on it, and it should have a nice shiny coat like that, golden brown and delicious. And now this step is completely optional. You don't have to do this, but for a lot of fruit tarts that I make, I coat the inside of the tart shell with some melted out bittersweet chocolate. And this serves a few purposes. Not just that I love chocolate, of course, but it also will create a barrier for the wet pastry cream that's going into it, and it also creates strength and structure for the tart shell so it can hold more. Just something you may want to try. So all you do if you want to try this, just melt this out and don't get it too hot. It's best to just melt chocolate very gently, and just kind of pour, I don't know, this is a 9-inch tart shell. That's probably 4.5, 5 ounces of chocolate I have in there, and then just simply, and I did cool this tart shell in the freezer for about 20 minutes. And I just work it around the edges like that. And this goes back in the freezer just to set up, maybe another 10 minutes or so. So my chocolate has set, and now it's time to see how this beautiful little tart comes together. The first thing I'm going to do is try to unmold this here, and I just think it makes it better and when you're not cutting down into your tart pan and scratching the finish. So if you can get it off, it's better to do so. So I'm just going to put this on a cake circle here to make things easier to transfer it. If you don't have cake circles, you can just put this on a serving platter, whatever you're going to serve it on. Then once you have it piped into your shell, you can just take the back of a spoon and even it off. These just kind of fan out like that. So then I put a little honey glaze on top of the strawberries to finish this off. And all this is just some vanilla sugar and about a teaspoon of honey. And this just protect the berries a little bit, keep them fresh a little longer. All right, there it is. The classic Tarte Aux Fraises. Bring this out to your Memorial Day picnic and see what happens. So let's give this thing a try and see how it tastes. It certainly is one of the most aesthetically pleasing desserts that I can think of. And if there's anything that can denote summer better than this tart, I'm really not sure what it would be. So I'm going to just cut myself a nice wedge of this. And give it a try. I really don't even want a plate, to be honest with you. I know already that I'm not going to need a plate because I'm just going to devour this thing. There's not very many things in life that truly leave me speechless. But as I said, the French nailed it on the summer. This is truly an exquisite dessert. Now, it is a bit of a project, so if you're local to Hershey and you want one of these, you know what, send me an email, we'll work something out. I'll even deliver it for you. But yeah, this is really incredible. The crisp pastry and the bursting ripe sweet summer berries in that voluptuous creme patissier, truly beautiful. I hope you'll give this a try for your Memorial Day picnic. And yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. Get your own. This is you got to give this a try.